Should you start your own business? That's a decision that one of my friends is trying to make right now. He's been in a job for over 20 years, is kind of high up in that organization, and he has an idea for a business. He's well-resourced. He can easily do the business, but the question is, should he do business? And it's not an easy thing, question, because I remember, even though I've literally had businesses since I was a kid. I mean, I grew up in the markets of Scotland, in Glasgow. It was a pretty rough upbringing, but I've always had side hustles and businesses and enjoyed business generally. But it's not always suited. It's not an easy question to answer. And I'll give you an example. Years ago, another friend said, he's thinking of getting into business, and what did I think about it? So I sat down and told him what I believe to be some of the home truths. For example, you're going to work hard. You're going to work like a dog. If you think that you can open a business, regardless of what that business is, and it's just going to be all sunshine and roses, and it's going to be perfect straight from the beginning, then you're living in an illusion. It's going to be hard work. There's going to be times where you don't feel well, but you still have to get up and make it happen. Other people, they don't feel well. They take a few days off work. They stay in bed. You don't have that luxury. There'll be times that, it's not a straight line that kind of goes up to the right-hand side. It's going to be bumpy. There'll be times when you question yourself. There'll be times when you don't have enough money to do things that you want to do. But I think it all revolves around a personal attitude. And I don't think everybody is designed for business. I really don't. I think some people who get into business because that's what society is trying to tell them that they should do become profoundly unhappy. I know at least 2 second-generation business owners who, because they inherited it, they feel obliged, to take over the business and try and grow the business, but they're not happy in that business. It wasn't their idea to start the business. They just got the business. So coming back to my friend, he's the ideal candidate. He's well prepared. He's driven. He's got his shit together, basically. And if he did start something, it would be a success. One of the reasons why I believe that everybody should have their own business is you should be in control of your own destiny. You cannot do that with a job. And if I look at my kind of business career, which is easily over 30 years now, and well over 30 businesses, I've lost count of those businesses. I've always been in control. If you work for somebody else, they can fire you at any time, they can go under, and most businesses do. I've been around longer than most companies that make it to the top 500 in America. I think it was a few years ago I read something that the average S&P 500 company stayed in the S&P 500 for about 15 years. I'm not sure if that's true, but it sounds about right. So to have that longevity is more about a mindset than anything else. So if you're asking yourself, should you or should you not, be in business, generally my advice is yes, take that leap. It will provide you with more potential wealth than anything that you can earn, and the freedom and flexibility to lead the life that you like. Because right now, what I essentially do is I create my own work week. So I don't particularly want to work 7 days a week, but I have the option of deciding when I'm going to work, when I'm not going to work, and who I'm going to work with. But you have to go in there with open eyes and know that it's not going to be easy. But the rewards on the other side are incredible. So if you're worried about it, especially if you're young, if you're at that retirement age, I would still do it. But if you are very young, if you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you still have enough runway left to recuperate, to, if it doesn't go well, you can still start again. You can get back into a career. You can start other businesses. So that's a definite yes. You should take that chance. Anyway, guys, if you like this, don't forget to subscribe and follow me and give me some feedback. Thanks for listening.